Yo, what's up, folks? This Impact, and I want to take this time to welcome you back to the Hurt Business 101. Let's get right into the video, man. What's going on out there, y'all? Just want to have a boxing discussion, man. I got some topics I want to speak about, but nothing too technical, just like some fights that's possibly going to be happening and, my thoughts on some of the things going on right now in boxing. How y'all liking 2023? I'm really liking this year, man. Breath of fresh air, really a breath of fresh air, man. Before I get started, man, I just want to let y'all know, like, the numbers in the videos are starting to come up. I'm starting to get more views, and I appreciate everybody for checking it out, man. If you do drop in and you like the content, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you're not subscribed, just hit it. Absolutely free. Hit the bell icon. That's the best way to know when I drop a new video, man. If you're not subbed, I want to build up the community a little bit. Start doing some live streams. I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing live streams. I got subscribers in the 40s. You know what I mean? Might get less than half of that tune in. It's just better off to just do the videos, and then they just up there in the library for everybody to check them out. You know what I mean? But please, man, sub. Let's build this thing up together, man. All right, let's see, man. First off, I want to talk about, I knew what I wanted to talk about. I heard Ryan Garcia trying to make his comeback fight. You know what I mean? Trying to get in there with somebody. I don't know what y'all think about Ryan. You know what I mean? I seen some rumblings about him and Rolly. He trying to get it on with Rolly, and you know what I mean, stuff like that. I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind seeing him do that. Like, I'll watch anybody get in there, man. Anybody's willing to get in there. But I will tell you, though, I'm not going to lie to you guys, man. I'm kind of down on Ryan right now. It's not because of the loss that he took the tank or nothing like that. I got a problem with guys packing it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he quit. You know what I mean? And I got a hard time taking the guy serious after that. You know what I mean? I'll watch him, but he just took all my luster from him. Like, I really believed he had an opportunity to be something in boxing, but I mean, it's really hard for me to get up for Ryan Garcia after him quitting it. You know what I mean? People lose all the time, get stopped. I could care less about you taking a loss, to be honest with you. I'm not one of them wins or losses guy. I actually got some journeymen that I actually like, guys that just get in there, give up one hell of a scrap. They might not win the majority of their fights. Like, once upon a time, they might have been a hot prospect, and for whatever reason, their career turned for the worse, and they haven't been been up to their winning ways. But some of them guys, they definitely put up good fights, like my man Collazo, and there's a lot of them. I won't name them, but I appreciate those guys. We need those guys, man. Sometimes them guys will upset you too if you come out there bullshitting around and you ain't on your A game. They'll get you done real quick. But the Ryan, man, he came out and said that he didn't want to continue because of his ribs and stuff like that. I'm just not with that, man. That's like a death sentence for a fighter, to be honest. Like, I never took Victor Ortiz serious again, you know what I mean, after he quit. You know what I mean? Started talking about he's too young to be getting beat on like he got beat on against Maidana and stuff like that. Like, that's too much for me. I just have a fighter's mentality. You know what I mean? I'm a warrior at heart, and me just trying to deal with that, just trying to take a guy serious after he decides I'm packing it in. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of off Ryan. What else we got, man? We have another thing. It was Anthony Joshua. He got a real good knockout victory against the bull Robert Helenius, man. Y'all like that, man? A one-hitter quitter? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was an impressive knockout. You know what I mean? That's why people like the heavyweights, man, because them guys, you know what I'm saying, they hit you and get you up out of there, man. They can hit you with one shot. That's what always drew people to the heavyweight. People like the knockouts, like all the technical stuff. Yeah, people, appreciate that too. But at the end of the day, people want to see a dude get caught with a bomb and stretch. I mean, that's just what the casual fans love. We all like to see a good knockout. I'm not gonna lie, man. I can appreciate the skills and 12-round decisions, but we do like to see those highlight reels. You know what I'm saying? But what y'all think about Joshua possibly getting in there with Wilder? You know what I mean? Tell me how y'all feel about that down in the comments section, man. How you feel about Joshua getting in there Wilder? I think he's going to get stretched, be honest with you. I don't think he got a chance in hell. I mean, of course, if he land up shot on Wilder, you know what I mean? Anybody can be stopped. They heavyweights. But, you know what I mean? Since that Andy Ruiz fight, man, he just been so scared to so tentative, so scared to let his hands go. I just watched the fights like, damn, just throw a shot. He wants to herky jerky and he don't even really want to commit to his jab. It's like he just like poking his jab out there, I was surprised he finally let that right hand go against Alanis. It was there, but it's just like, yeah, he's gun shy, man. He's afraid to let his hands go. It's like he's always thinking in the fight now, like, let me get through this fight without getting knocked out. Can't make a mistake. Don't want to get knocked out. I mean, it's in the back of his mind. You can tell. Like when Pacquiao got knocked out, you know what I mean? You see how he came back and he just looked like regular old Manny. Like he didn't let it get to him. He still was darting in and out. He still was attacking with ferocity and stuff like that. Like, but Joshua now, he's just waiting for that one perfect shot. Like he is not going to let his hands go. He got to be 100% comfortable. Like, that's no way to be, man. So I just think Wilder going to put him to sleep, man. I don't think he can beat Wilder. I mean, Wilder has the one kryptonite, and that's Tyson Fury. But Wilder has a nuclear right hand. And Joshua doesn't move his head a lot. He stays on the line posing, and that's not going to cut it. He going to have to either go in there and get Wilder out, or Wilder going to get him out. All that sitting around, that ain't gonna cut it, man. Who else I want to talk about here, man? We got I know Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin was supposed to fight. You know what I mean? I went and did a real nice video. I was telling my man, I feel like I wasted a real good video on that fight, man. I thought we had it. You know what I'm saying? Generally, if you hear that something is potentially going to a purse bid and the sanctioning body give these guys a deadline to make, usually they'll either request, you know what I mean, for more time to negotiate because they feel like they're getting close. You know what I'm saying? Like we're getting close to a negotiation, but we're not quite there yet, and we don't want the time to run out on us. So, you know what I mean? They'll request a extension for time, and generally that will come out. They'll say that they requested extension to be able to get it done. You know what I mean? But in this case, the reporting was that both sides reported to the sanctioning body that they came to terms. I've never seen a purse bid get canceled and the sanction body's notified that both fighters came to terms, and then we don't get the fight out of it. Like that's kind of crazy to me, man. Like, I mean, but it's obvious. I mean, you know, I'm not in negotiations. I don't have any affiliation with any of these people. I'm never going to lie to y'all talking about I got this source or that source. I do know people in boxing, but people that I know, I'm not even asking them about this kind of shit. I ain't trying to, you know, poke and pry and ask people's business. I'm just going to do it from where I do it. If I get an interview or somebody gives me something and tells me it's cool to go on a record with it, I'll do that. But you know what I mean? I'm just observing, man. It's obvious that Frank Martin's side, somebody on his side didn't like something. I mean, because for you to cancel the purse bid and say that for both sides came to agreement, both sides have to contact the sanctioning body and say they came to agreement. Like one side can't just, you know what I mean, come out and say, we came to an agreement. That has to be something that both sides let the sanctioning body know before they would cancel a purse bid. That just didn't seem right to me. And then the reporting is that you know, Frank Martin said he's no longer interested in the fight. That's what threw me for a loop. Like, wait, he's no longer interested. And I mean, I don't think he, you know, all that scary stuff. I don't believe. I mean, he's a fighter. I don't believe he's scared. But I do believe somebody didn't like it. I mean, you know, because me personally, I thought Shakur was going to take him for a long ride. I thought Shakur was going to take him to school. Although I do like Frank Martin. I think he's really good. But if you want to look at my breakdown, go back and check out my breakdown and prediction. I haven't changed one bit on that. And I believe there's guys, you know, on his side that probably originally wanted to agree to it and then thought about it and said, you know what, maybe we're not quite ready. And you know what, that's respectable. But it's not a good look when you come out and say you're no longer interested in the fight. If that's true, just be no longer interested after you call off the purse bid. Like, what's going on with guys not wanting title fights? Like, this is crazy. Like, all of this, I mean, these are title fights. I mean, I don't like this, man. It's a vacant title, man. Y'all gotta go in there and rumble for that, man. Like, do it for me. My own selfish gain. Do it for me. I know y'all don't know who the hell I am. Y'all don't know me from a fucking can of paint, but just do it for me. Go in there and get it on, y'all. Come on. I'll buy it, man. You know what I mean? I know my little couple dollars ain't gonna move the needle, but hey, man, I'm sure it's more people like me. Come on, man. Just go ahead and get in there and fight for these belts so we can clear a lot of this nonsense up. All right, man. Listen. What else did I want to talk about, man? I know it was another fight. Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. Man, what y'all think about the fact that Errol Spence activated that rematch clause? Go down in the comments section. Tell me what you think about that, man. Do you think he has a chance in the rematch? Do you think he has no chance? If you were advising him, what would you tell him? You know what I mean? If you was Errol Spence, what would you do? I know if I was Errol Spence, because it's two different things. Like, people always ask me, because people know my mentality and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just me always being a guy that's just, I don't care. I'm just willing to scrap or whatever. I've always been like that. But people ask me, but if I'm Errol Spence, I'm taking the fight. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing people don't realize. Like, I'm speaking as a person who observed what I observed, and I'm giving my opinions based on me not seeing a path to victory or him having a shot in hell except for a puncher's chance to pull that off. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you asking me if I'm Earl, am I going to take it? Hell yeah, he got to have the confidence that he can make some adjustments, you know what I mean? And be able to come back and win. I mean, got a fighter's mentality. He's a fighter's spirit. So there's two different things. It's not like me saying I would be scared to fight again. I don't think Earl's scared. Like, these guys, they signed up to get punched on in front of millions upon millions of people. I mean, they've been doing this since they was kids. You know what I mean? They've been in so many fights. You know what I mean? Fighters don't look at it, boxing, as dangerous like civilians do. That's why when people be saying, oh, he's scared to get hurt and he don't want to get beat up. A lot of that stuff is just the way, the common man thinks. These guys are fighters, you know what I mean? Now, business decisions come in, and, you know what I mean, there's people that's advising guys, and they trying to figure out how to navigate career. That's different from just fear. Like, a regular person will be in fear of getting knocked out and getting beat up and stuff like that. But fighters don't think that way. So I don't think, you know what I mean? But I'm looking at it. I don't see a path to victory for Spence. Like, I mean, I've never seen a guy get totally dominated and outclassed like that and then come back and win a rematch. Not only did he get dominated, he got dominated and outclassed in every aspect of the fight. And on top of it, he got stopped. And he got hurt several times. I mean, I have seen fights where it was like, okay, the fight is competitive, and then a guy gets clipped. You know what I'm saying? That's different, because the fight is competitive, or he might have been winning the fight, and he gets clipped. Then he can feel like, damn, if I would have just not made that mistake, I could have got that fight. I made a mistake here. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know what his trainers or anybody could possibly see that they could pinpoint, like weight drain and stuff like that. I mean, steroids and all that. There's a lot of dumb stuff going around, but that's mainly distraught fans and, people that chose a side. That's not the fighters saying that, you know what I mean? That's just a bunch of nonsense out there. But I'm just trying to figure out, what could I possibly see in that fight? Even me, I usually always got some kind of breakdown I can give you that I can tell you how a guy could pull it off. But based on what I've seen, I mean, landing a shot, just the fact that one punch can change anything, that's all I can see, man. I mean, I don't have nothing else. What else, man? What else we got, man? I was thinking about some ways, you know what I mean? Like, some ways to keep this momentum from 2023 going. And I was looking at it, like, a lot of people are like pro PBC or pro Top Rank or pro Gold Boy. I just think it's just, it's like some people just believe all the fighters should go to PBC. It's, you know what I mean. And listen, I love the PBC. I think all of these guys, all of these promotional companies have their strengths. Like you know what I mean? They have their strengths and they have their weaknesses and stuff. Some put on better cards than others. Some better at developing fight. Whatever the case may be. But I don't believe one promotional company or one entity should just have everybody. Like, just imagine if these people that just think that everybody should go to PBC. Imagine if they got their way. Like, PBC is only working with Showtime. You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember PBC would be doing fights on Bounce. Like, some of the lower level fights would be on Bounce. You still get some real good bangs. They just wasn't big. They wasn't like, you know what I mean, big promotions, but they guys had some real good fight. We could get to see some guys on the come up. I think we got to do that to try to help some of these young guys become household names. By the time they reach the status where they should be a household name, those little platforms like Bounce, that was good for boxing, because by the time you started seeing a guy get a few fights and he's used to being seen, you know what I'm saying? But not one promotional company has enough networks that they're working with, and it's not enough fight dates. Like, these channels got other things going on their channels other than boxing. Like, how many boxing dates can you have? Just imagine if PBC had every good fighter. Just every good fighter just went to PBC. When we gonna fight? We still got guys like Gary Russell that be sitting on the shelf. I mean, shit, at this point, it's like Gary Russell is almost like Hulk Hogan. Like, we don't get to see him until like WrestleMania. Like, we don't, you know what I mean? Like, he's never fighting. I don't even remember the last time, you know, without me pulling out my phone and Googling it, I don't even remember the last date that Gary Russell was in. I know he took a loss to a guy. I don't know if the guy was from the Philippines or somewhere like that. I forgot who the guy was that he took the loss to or whatever. But, you know what I mean? It's not even about the loss. I think that loss came from inactivity. Like, his timing was off. He couldn't pull the trigger at certain times. It was too late, and that's activity. Gary Russell not shot. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's not fighting enough. So if you put every good fighter on PBC, where the fight dates coming from? That's my whole point. I think all of these promotional companies need to be working with at least two networks, even if they're like I know Top Rank, they do ESPN and ESPN Plus, so they kind of got two. It's the same but different. One of them you gotta pay for the subscription. I mean, ESPN just comes with, you know, it's still on a cable network or whatever, but it's still like it's part of everybody's standard package. Usually comes with ESPN. Now, ESPN Plus is very affordable. It's cheap, so a lot of people got that too. So they got kind of two places to put the fighters, and then you got Golden Boy is working with DAZN. And also, you know, you got Eddie Hearn with Matchroom working with, you know, DAZN, and you know, you got Sky Sports and stuff like that. So the UK, they got a bunch of outlets. I think all these promotional companies need to just, you know, they need to just work with each other. I mean, you know, just imagine the type of heat we could get on a consistent basis if these guys just all worked with each other and put on, like, you're not going to get, you know, the most money per show, but the volume of shows we could get. Just imagine all of these promotional companies just say, listen, you can fight over there, you can fight over there, we can have the joint promotions. And I mean, you're still getting a cut of your guys' money, even if it's just to keep these guys active. You know what I mean? Because the inactivity is one of the biggest. People talk about the golden era of boxing, and back when these guys were back when fighters were having better performances and stuff like that, and those guys was active. They were fighting more often. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's fighting once a year, you know what I mean, or at most twice a year, like, I mean, once the guys get to the pay-per-view level, like Mayweather was like every fight is going to be pay-per-view at some point, so it was a lot different. But we don't really have these. Nobody in boxing is like, every fight has to be pay-per-view. Everybody, there's some fights that we can be getting with high-level guys that's not pay-per-view, you know, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, they not active. These guys got to get active. You sitting on the shelf for a year, and then these guys getting so much money that they actually are a lot of them aren't as hungry because the purses are so big. They're getting this big purse, and then they sit back and they nurse that purse. Like they milk that purse and they living off that purse, living comfortable, and then they not even thinking about fighting. They like, man, I could go a year without fighting because this purse is husky. You know what I'm saying? They not, and there's a good thing that the fighters getting taken care of. And I don't want the fighters to stop being taken care of. The answer is not reducing purses. Let's get that out there right now. If anything, I want the fighters to make more and more money. But you know what I mean? I do believe it's just the inactivity because, like I said, not enough cross-promotional events happening. So I think if we want to keep this momentum from 2023 going, man, and even build on it, start getting some tournaments between the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just spitballing here, but, you know, have a PBC versus top-ranked tournament. Why can't we do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and, you know, have a Matchroom versus Golden Boy tournament. You know what I mean? Like, let's spice it up. Let's do more of the, like, Super 6 type tournaments in different weight classes. Stuff to get these top 10 guys all in there rumbling with each other. So you going to pull, the casual fans are going to come back. 2023 did a good job of bringing a lot of casual fans back, man, but they got to really come with some creative ways to promote boxing, you know what I mean? That, you know, like I said in another video about UFC, you got one guy controlling it, so once the public demand is there for that fight, man, the money is there, you get that fight. Ain't a whole lot of politics in the UFC. They going to rumble, or you going to be like kind of like banished, you know what I mean? You're going to be set on the shelf. You don't want to rumble messing over there with Eddie Hearn. And boxing don't need that because these guys in boxing need options. And, you know, I do believe, you know what I mean, some elements of UFC is good, but they don't take the best care of their fighters a lot of times. That's excellent for the fans, but ultimately you want the combatants to be able to, at some point, retire, you know what I'm saying, and feel as though they can live out their lives and have a nice nest egg of money and stuff like that. You don't want guys taking those type of beatings and then, you know, next thing you know, they working at like a KFC or something like that, just trying to make ends meet. Nobody wants to see that. These guys deserve to be able to make their paychecks and be able to retire and live off of the fruits of their labor from being in these combat sports. But yeah, man, that's what I believe, man. I believe we got to get everybody working together to keep boxing going, man. And, you know that, I think I'm going to shut it down right here, man. I'm not going to keep it going. I thought about going for like 30 minutes just to have just to talk. But, you know what I mean? It's good to come on here and not have to break down a fight, you know what I mean, this entirety and just talk to y'all, man. Please, man, whatever y'all do, subscribe, like, you know what I mean, comment. Join in the conversation in the comment section, man. I'm not going to be strict about the way I want y'all to comment down there. Just keep it respectful. That's all I ask for. I don't want to create the atmosphere like some of these channels where we calling each other names in the comment section. I want this thing to, you know, stay kind of grown up. But let's have some fun, man. And that's it, man. That's just going to do it for this video, man. I want to thank y'all for tuning in to another edition of the Hurt Business 101. And you know what they say. It's no business like show business, but I say it's no business like the hurt business. 1-0-1, done.